Good morning. I think everybody should get pissed off. Everybody should get extremely angry about their current position in life. I talked about this topic a few videos ago, talking about the difference and the power and the energy that you can get out of being dissatisfied where you are, but also being grateful for where you are and what you have. And today, I wanted to talk a bit more about that dissatisfaction, like summoning anger as a man in today's society. Like, if you look at both men and women, most of society has conditioned them to act in a certain way. Men are like more prone to anger, and it's okay to be angry. Like, whenever you can hear this, whenever like some guy says like he breaks up with his girlfriend and he says like, I'm pissed off. Why did she break up with me? I don't understand. Da da da. So, but on the other hand, like when you ask a woman, like it's like, I'm sad he broke up with me, and she cries and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of the two polar opposites in today's society. And I'm going to be talking more about the men's side of things because, of course, I'm a dude. I can't really understand 100% what it feels like to be a woman. So for all the men listening, I do feel like, and I do think that you should be able to use your emotions to your advantage. Men in today's society are able to get to a certain point of like emotional intelligence. It's very easy for a man to be emotionally intelligent because we are capable of logical and rational thought more than the average person, more than women, if we actually take the time to develop that part of our brain and are capable of just thinking like, okay, am I going to be the hero of my opportunity or the victim of my circumstances? Because if I'm the hero of my opportunity, what's going to happen is I'm going to be able to control what happens to me. And most of what happens to me, I can actually think about it as my fault. Because if I think about it as my fault, I have control over that, and I can improve myself to no longer have bad things happen to me, or as little as possible, and have the power and the control over your own actions in your own life to choose what it is you want to do. So, for instance, I think it does stem like from a place of like you were in a position where you were like weak or feeble or not in control or losing a grip on what it is you actually wanted, that kind of lifestyle. And it gets to a point where you seek out the information about like how can you improve, how can you fix this, how can you solve your problems, how can you get better, how can you no longer be subject to a bad event happening to you, a betrayal, or somebody did you dirty, or somebody betrayed your trust. Like I said, that's usually like there's like a click, there's an event that happens in every man's life, and at a certain point it makes you realize that you need to wake up. You need to start seeking out knowledge on how you can become more useful, more capable is a good word in this case, more like more prone to performance, like better performing in today's world. Like, you need to be able to counteract any negative thing that is thrown at you, but at the same time take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way as much as possible. So I think for me personally, it came from the place of I was hearing a bunch of people on social media talking about men today and how fucked up today's society is, and how it really isn't helping the men get better. Like, it's not made on purpose. Like, the school and education system is not made on purpose. Feminism isn't made on purpose to help men. Like, politics isn't meant to help men. The economy is not meant to help men and women. Like, pretty much most of it isn't really, like, the divide. There's a lot of things that divide people today, more so than making people come together. So personally, it came from I started seeking out more information. Number one, because I was in an environment where my family already had kind of these virtues and these thoughts that were circling around, like critical thinking and being good, being a good person, and just like doing your best every day, just like bringing the best energy you can to the table so that others feel better around you. So it was very easy for me to just pivot into that like full on getting better every day. It was extremely easy for me, because basically what I just needed to do is I just needed to develop my own mental fortitude so that I could get things done every single day. I remember at the very start, so I was listening to people like, there's this guy called Hamza. I don't really care about him anymore, but he kind of told me some stuff that made sense, so kind of made me realize that I needed to do better. Then of course there's Andrew Tate. Most people know him today. He's one of the most famous people on fucking earth, on the internet, and for good reason. So there's him, there's a lot of other people like Alex Hormozy, a lot of other people that basically encourage men and inspire men to do better. And I think that's what we should be doing on both sides of the spectrum, may it be women or men. I think people should educate each other and pass each other down the values of how to become a better person, how to become a great person, so that we can inspire others, lead others into like greatness, into like a more beautiful age of the human race, like so that we don't really necessarily go back to where we came from and we learn from our mistakes. So I was at this point, I was listening to Hamza, Andrew Tate, those kinds of people, and I started working out like every single day at the gym. And now it's been like 4 years since then, but basically I started really just getting extremely pissed off at my like certain like predicament. Like, I was in a private university learning a couple things about like graphics design, movies, like movie effects, like science, like SFX, all that sort of stuff for movies, for video games, for 3D stuff. And I wasn't really sure if that's what I wanted to do, because it didn't inspire me, it didn't motivate me, but it was kind of fun to do, I guess. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you like maybe like drawing stuff, or like playing with Lego, or I don't fucking know what you used to do when you were a kid. I personally used to play with Lego a lot. So like I was just given a box of Lego and like a whole shitload of them, and then I would just, instead of just following the manual, I would just always like build something out of my creativity, that I could just come up with something out of nowhere and I would just make my own shit. So I do think that is missing in today's society. People that just sit down and actually think through things. They actually go through the process of being bored, and it's fine to be bored. Like, it's actually a good thing. Like, you can see it in kids today. It's getting worse. Like, they can't, like, they're 5-6 years old, they can't even fucking read, bro. They can't even write. It's bad. Like, the only thing they can do is fucking iPad. It's bad. It's not good, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, my kids are not gonna have phones or iPads or fucking anything until they're fucking 18 or like somewhere around those lines, so that I can teach them how to use it properly, because I don't want them to learn on their own from the ages of fucking 2 to be on the phone and fucking scrolling on fucking TikTok, because it conditions your brain to not fucking think properly. It conditions your brain to have a shit attention span. It's not good, bro. So I was at this certain point where I was getting extremely angry about my own circumstances, and I was like, dude, I need to change this. So I started working on a bunch of stuff, like learning a bunch of stuff from a bunch of different people, and combining all of what they were saying into the person I was, so that I could craft the guy I am today. I could craft the persona, the character that is now me. So I guess what everybody should be doing, if you feel lost, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you're not capable of doing things, I think you should take some time and be bored. Listen to other people and digest what they've told you and think about it. Be bored and just come up with something for yourself. Do you want this lifestyle that this millionaire guy has or is talking about? Is that actually what you want to have? I've been following a lot of people on social media, getting a bunch of different advice, becoming a more capable person, and at a certain point you get to the point where you're like, actually, you gotta be careful, because like if you listen too much to the same person, you're gonna get to the point where you're so deep in the rabbit hole of being angry and being like in improving yourself, so much so that you forget being yourself and you become the person you're listening to too much. Because like, for instance, there was a phase where I was listening to all of the viral clips and shorts and that sort of stuff, like maybe like 2 years ago. I was listening to a lot of different shorts and clips and all a bunch of different stuff from Andrew Tate, and so I started looking and feeling and speaking a lot like he did. And I took some time and I was like, wait a minute, if I take all of my stuff from him, I'm just gonna end up being like an exact replica of he is, and that's, I don't really know if that's actually what I want to do. I want to be like, I don't know if I want to be like a duplicate of someone else. Like, I would rather be my own person, learn from a bunch of people, integrate that into who I am, and come up with my own personal character, mold my character to my preferences instead of following what somebody else does. Now, following what somebody else does is kind of important, and there is a fucking wasp on my phone. Back off, please. And there is a certain degree of personal accountability that needs to go into it. Like, for instance, I do believe that you should take some time to really find out who you are first before you go out and you seek all of these people's information, because there's a lot of information on social media. Information is becoming the new currency, it looks like. So you need to be careful who you take advice from. Does the life they have look like what you want to have? And if not, what are you going to do? Because I do suggest a lot of people like take advice from a bunch of different people, like at least 5 different people, maybe 10, maybe more, so that way you can get like you can come up with your own idea, you can come up with your own strategies, you can come up with your own personal preferences, and all of that by going through critical thinking and being like, okay, does this make sense? Is that who I want to be? Why is he talking about that? Do I understand this? So that you actually go a bit further than just being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go with this, and then that's it. Because I know a lot of people that do that. They stop thinking for themselves, and they just follow what other people do and tell them to do. Now, this is a good thing, but at the same time, I do prefer having control over my own life and my own preferences and my own personal character that is myself. So unless you would prefer following somebody else's dream, you need to build your own dream. And it's like you have two options. I've heard this before. You have either you're building your own dream and you're working on your dream and you make others work for your dream, or you work on somebody else's dream. That's what you're doing. You're picking one of two options. So what I think is really important is critical thinking, number one. Number two is being angry enough to get out of where you are so that you can achieve and go where you want to go. And that is like a powerful energy that men can like harness in order to get there. But also having the obedience and the like basically being humble to listen to other people that are further along than you and getting their advice and just applying it. Because like, for instance, I know I'm shit at business. I used to be even worse than I am today. So I needed to listen to the people, and I needed to be humble enough to lower my ego to listen to people and actually do what they say, so that I didn't have to reinvent something out of fucking nowhere. I could just listen to someone and then get to where I want to be faster. Because this is the advantage of we humans that we have, is we can listen to other people and they can tell us what they've done before us if they have more experience. If you're a guy in your 20s and you're listening to someone in their 30s or 40s, they're going to have more experience and they're going to, chances are, know more than you do because they have more experience. So I do think that is extremely important in today's society, is figuring out who you want to be, figuring out what kind of lifestyle you want, understanding that you can get advice from people, but it is better to come up with something by yourself, and like maybe like nitpicking like different people's lives online that you can find that you like, or even the people around you. If you look at the people around you and you want things out of their lives that they have, then follow their advice. Like personally, I will only take advice from someone I aspire to be like, or that has something that I want. Otherwise, I'll take their advice with a grain of salt, and I'll be like, do I want to look like this person? Do I want to have the life this person has? If not, then I don't know if I want to follow their advice, you know? And then just be extremely pissed off at where you are right now, so that you can summon some energy and fucking boom, put a plan together, and then just start working on it like every single fucking day, bro. Even if you have a job, you need to schedule your time properly so that you have enough time so you don't have to work that job forever. Unless that's what you want to do. Unless you have like a job and a career. Maybe you want to be a doctor or a scientist. I don't know. Maybe you have like something that like you actually need to go to university or college or a really big school or whatever to actually achieve what it is you actually want career-wise. But if you don't want to do that, then I don't think it's worth it working a job forever. If you were just working a job to pay the bills, I think it's more valuable for you to learn a valuable skill on the side as well as working that job, so that way you have the income coming in, and then you've got your skill that is coming up on the side, and then you can put something together. You can start a side hustle, you can start a business, you can become an entrepreneur, you can, I don't know, you can actually go travel around, save some money so that you can go experience some things, discover new people, new experiences, new things, and find out who you want to be, what kind of life you want to live, and then just chase that every day of your life. Because you only live once. We don't know what happens when we die. Like, there's a lot of people that keep talking about it, but nobody truly knows what the fuck's gonna happen. So what you can do right now is spend the time you have available on this earth as best you can, and Just do whatever it is you want. But do it without regret. That's extremely important. Doing things without regretting them. Like, I know so many people that say like, they're like old people, and they say like, I regret X, Y, and Z. And it's like, why? Those things that you did made you into the person you are today. I take everything not as a loss, but as a lesson. Like, I never feel like I'm losing if I'm only learning. Everything is either a win or a lesson. If you take that mentality into account and you always attack what it is you want to do and what life you want to live, and you chase that down, you will always be better every single day. Okay, at the end of the day, what have I learned today? Okay, I've learned this, I've learned this, I've learned this. Okay, we're doing good. If we're learning, if we're improving every day, even if it's like 1% out of all of the stuff in your life, that is way better than just fucking scrolling all day and doing nothing. You know, I get extremely sad whenever I see a kid out in public that is sitting down at a table with a phone and just doing, with their fucking mouth open, just it's like, bruv, it is the fault of the parent. You're not parenting your kid. You're not educating your kid to be smart. You're educating your kid to consume, to fucking eat content for breakfast. It's like, what the fuck? That person is gonna grow up on the entertainment industry, and they're just gonna consume content forever. Their brain is gonna be mush. Their brain is gonna be soft. No wrinkles. It just fucking amazes me, the people that do that. I don't understand. Like, I go down to the barber shop to get a haircut, and I fucking need to go, by the way. This is fucking bad. Overgrown. And I go down there, and there's this fucking kid and his dad. His dad's getting a haircut, and he just puts his kid on the bench where you're supposed to wait for a haircut, and he just gives him the phone. And the kid just starts watching, like, fucking, I don't know, Coco Melon or whatever the fuck they watch. It's like, bruv, why don't you fucking let him be bored for a bit? It's not that hard. Like, nobody actually gets bored anymore. Like, being bored is actually a good thing. You can come up with new ideas. You need to let your brain digest the information you're fucking taking in, bro. If you're not doing that, you're never going to come up with anything. You're never going to act. You're always going to be reacting to stuff. And that is why people stay stuck in their job. Because what they do is they go to their job in the morning. They finish their job. They go home. They eat food. And then they play video games or they scroll. And then they go to bed. Maybe they go to bed late because they scrolled for like a couple hours at night. And then they wake up tired, and then they go to work, and they repeat this. And then they get to the weekend, and they're like, oh, I just want to chill. I just want to chill this weekend. I just want to spend this weekend with my friends. Or play video games with them, or whatever. And it's like, you're not working on anything, though. Like, you're not providing any value. You're just cruising. You're just cruising. You're just surfing the wave. You're not doing anything valuable. Like, it's not even doing anything valuable. It's like you're not taking charge of your life. Like, you're not leading your life. You're not leading anybody. You're just living a soft, comfortable life. And if that's what you want, then go ahead. Like, I'm not here to tell you, hey, stop doing this and do this. I'm here to tell you what has worked for me, what has inspired me, so that I can inspire and motivate some of you guys to have a better life. Because I personally have had a beautiful life ever since I started improving myself. I feel better. on a daily basis. I feel I have more energy. I feel more confident. I feel more capable. I feel like I'm helping more people. I'm going to be making more money so that I can provide for my family, so that I can raise my kids the way I want to raise them. And I don't just want to live my life just cruising and reacting to stuff all the time. I want to be able to act. I want to be able to take decisions. I want to be able to do stuff that matters. I want to be able to change lives. I want to be able to help people come out of their shit lives and be able to actually achieve what they want to achieve. I want to be able to motivate people, to inspire people, and I want to be able to lead people to get things done. I want to be able to do that because that's not what I had when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I had everything that I wanted at my disposal. Any kind of food, any kind of video game, any kind of entertainment. My parents would always give me everything because I would bitch and moan and fucking complain until I got it. And they would crack. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Like, you can't change the past. I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but it was a great thing to create the character that I am today. If I didn't go through all of that, it probably would have not been that person that I am today. And you would have not been watching this fucking video. So, there's that. And life's great, bro. You need to go get it. You need to go get what you want and chase it down, bro. If you want to be a manager, if you want to be a CEO, if you want to be a fucking businessman, an entrepreneur, start your own company, do whatever the fuck, bro. Start your own family, go get a wife, work on that, improve yourself, learn from the fucking mistakes, go through the fucking feedback loops, ask people for advice, go do all of that. Get angry enough of where you are not. You can do anything you want, but you can't do everything. You don't have enough time to do everything. It's not possible. So you need to pick properly who you want to be, what you want your life to be like, and go get it, bro. That's what I did. That's what I'm still doing to this day. And I'm not giving up. I'm not backing down. I'm not taking out the time out of my day to just sit down and just scroll on my phone, I don't want to do that. And when I catch myself doing that for 5 seconds, I'm like, stop doing this. Like, the only time I'd scroll is to find ideas for content that I'm recording or that I'm pushing out here. So everything that I'm doing, most of it I do as much as possible is work related. I'm looking for ideas. I'm looking for content topics. I'm looking for stuff to talk about. I'm looking for things that I can better myself with. And you need to be careful because you might fall into the hole of consuming endless content to find that one thing, that amazing thing that entertains you. You need to be careful with that. You need to not just look for entertainment. You need to start looking for educational things, inspiring things that you can use in your own life. That's why I created this channel. So take some time, please, don't just go back to scrolling. Don't just go back to fucking doing nothing with your life after watching this video. I do appreciate every single one of you guys watching this. It means the world to me. If you go all the way through to the end of the video, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And yeah, just like, as always, like, comment, subscribe. I'm happy to have a conversation with all of you guys, give you some advice, give you some feedback. If you have questions, happy to have discussions, answer some questions, and help you guys out. Push forward just a bit more. Just even if it's 1% better, that would be better for everybody, because the butterfly effect is real. If I help you, can you help another one, and then help another person, and then we help each other, and then we progress. That would be amazing. And with that said, I wish you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one tomorrow.